All right, guys. What we got going on today is I was actually hoping to get started picking cotton today, but Noah upped the rain chances this morning. Gave us 70% chance of rain, and well, we got every bit of that 70% chance of rain. We got like 3/4 of an inch a couple hours ago, so we got done fixing everything that we've got to fix. Get ready for cotton harvest. So getting off a little early today. So no, we haven't. I don't think I've done a live since we were on our way to the beach back in late July. So thought I'd take, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes or an hour to talk with y'all, answer any questions y'all got about where we're at or anything anything you got in general about our farm or what we're doing. And so this might be the last chance I've got to go live until I don't know whenever the season's done with. I imagine. So if you haven't if you haven't participated on live with me before, I like for it to be viewer driven. Just any questions you got about us, our farm, anything you seen the videos or anything like that. Everything's fair game, and I'll do my best to answer any questions you got. In the meantime, I'm trying to get some videos uploaded for when we do get started picking cotton, and I've got I think so many videos I got. One, two, three, four, five. Like I got 5 videos made up, which be about 15 to 17 days worth of videos. So hopefully that will get us through. Able to give y'all some content while we're busy picking cotton. I'm too busy to edit or anything like that. So hopefully that will give y'all something to watch until we can get some cotton harvesting videos posted. All right, got a question here. David Holst asks, sorry if I butchered that name, by the way. I'm terrible with names. I asked, do you have any cover crops that are up? We have been very dry and our cover crops are struggling. David, yes, we do have some cover crops up. What we planted behind our corn with the drill, we've actually got a real good stand, and we wouldn't have gotten a stand, but we had like 1.4 inches a few days after we got done planting. Of course, that was what, like 3 weeks ago, probably close to 3 weeks ago. But since then, it's been bone dry until we got the rain today. So uh, they were up. They really weren't doing a whole lot, but they were up. Now around the tree edges and stuff, I believe I had some die, but for the most part, we've got a real good stand. Not getting the growth out of them that I wanted to take up that excess nitrogen we got in the soil just because hadn't had any rain. But if we had any rain, the nitrogen's still going to be there in the soil. So whenever we do start getting rain, like we got some today, maybe they'll take off and start getting some growth out of them. Hey Joseph, how's it going? Todd asked, "Am I feeding any more steers this year?" Yeah, I've got. I'm gonna have probably another 3 steers, and probably get them right there around Thanksgiving, like I normally do. Sorry, let me answer this text. That's the guys from the zombie trail asking me if I want to work tonight. asking me if I want to drive the third tractor pulling trailers, which that third tractor is a real small Kubota tractor, rides like a bowling ball across some speed bumps. Alex Medley says, I know you. God bless. Alex Medley asked, I know you strictly no-till. How do you deal with soil compaction? Before I get to that, can y'all hear me pretty good? I'm using my son's gaming microphone. I've never used it before, but is the audio okay? It's showing I've got, oh, I don't know if I'm getting, my audio meter's not working. Can y'all hear me? I don't want to do all this if y'all can't hear me. All right, Alex says audio's good. Okay, Alex, finally get to your question. Uh, well, for one thing, we try not to cause any compaction. That's the biggest thing. If you don't cause any compaction, you're not going to have to fight any compaction. So we try to stay out of the wheel. We try to stay out of the fields when it's too wet and wait till the soil conditions are right. On our planter, we've got hydraulic downforce, which minimizes compaction and whatnot. But reality is, I mean, sometimes we got to be in the fields when the conditions are not right, especially during harvest. So, uh, what I feel like is that if you build the soil structure, you got good soil structure initially. It's harder to cause compaction, so that's what we're trying to get to. Get our soil structure right, and we've done a real good job of it. And if you got good soil structure, then compaction is not going to be as big of an issue as if you're constantly plowing and you don't have any soil structure, and the soil becomes compacted very easily. But the second thing to go along with that, we plant cover crops on all of our ground except for where we got winter wheat, and those roots are growing all winter long to bust through any hard layers of soil, creating rooting channels for our cash crops. You increase organic matter, you're not going to have as big a problem with compaction. So it's tools like that we do that uh, really minimize any compaction. Really, about the only compaction we might see is like at a field entrance where we're loading grain on the trucks, or we're building modules, or the water trucks pulling in. That's about the only place we really might have any problems with compaction. So, uh, the goal is to get the hardest thing is to transition from conventional till or minimum till to no till, because you got to transition your soils. But once you do that, and then you keep a cover crop growing, uh, your problems in the soil drastically reduce. Next question. John Coons asks, how much deer damage do you get in your beans? Man, up until last year, I'd say we really don't get much at all. I hadn't seen it, but last year I started noticing some problems, especially like on some farms where we had a field and maybe like a neck went up into some trees where you had trees on like three sides. If you watch our last harvest video from last year, it was at night, and I was cutting one of those necks, and it wasn't even worth running the combine through. They flat out devastated it. And then on that same farm this year, I got cotton on all that farm. I mean, early season, the deer wore out the edges of that cotton, something terrible. And I started seeing quite a bit more deer damage, in my soybean fields, more so than I'd ever noticed before. So I don't know. I don't know if the population's rising. I think it's more along the lines that deer are getting more concentrated because we're seeing so much development out our way. Their habitat is shrinking, but their population is really not shrinking. So they're being concentrated more and more into certain areas. So I'm debating on maybe having one of Carter's jobs next summer be is I'm going to get a permit to, during the summer to thin out the deer population. And that just might be his job. Sit out in the field with a rifle and try and thin the herd a little bit. All right, I got more confirmation that the audio's good. Good deal. Wilk Farms asked, "Do you still have any contact with your ex-employee? I'm still good friends with everyone that has helped on our operation. Uh, I've seen him a little bit. He showed up out to the cornfield one afternoon, and then he's working the zombie trail on our farm. He's driving one of the tractors around. So the nights that we're open, and he's working there. I'll see him then. But he's been real busy with his job getting. I'm sure he's been real busy with his job getting up to speed, learning everything he's got to learn, and of course, I mean, we just been slammed, just trying to stay ahead of the game. We're actually ahead of where we were at this point last year, but without having Zach here, having that third person that knows this operation inside and out and knows how to do everything, especially helping with the mechanic work, we've really been busting our butts to just try and stay ahead because once you get behind, it's going to be almost impossible to catch up. So we've been trying just to go through everything, make sure every detail is right, just so we can stay ahead because, I really won't be done by Thanksgiving. And really, in reality, if it stays dry like it is, we should be done long before Thanksgiving. But I know at some point this weather's going to turn for a worse. So, like I said, I'm sure both of us have been so busy. Really about our only thoughts have been to our jobs. Darren Smith asked, "Have you guys been able to get any wheat planted yet?" No, we have not planted any wheat because the majority of our wheat is going to go behind our cotton crop, and well, we've got to pick our cotton first. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I was planning on starting today, but then we had rain come through, so we got to get cotton off before we plant any wheat. We could. There's 80 acres that we had in soybeans. We could have gone ahead and got it planted, but I'm not going to plant any wheat now because there's literally until today there was no moisture in the soil whatsoever, and I was scared to death that if I planted some wheat, we might get say a couple tenths of an inch of rain, enough to swell the seed up, maybe make them sprout, but not enough moisture to sustain the wheat and keep it growing, and then it all die on me because I saw that on some of my cover crops. So I'm waiting. I'm in no hurry to plant wheat. Ideally, the some of the well, I've made great yields planting all the way up till mid November, but my ideal time to plant wheat is generally the week of Halloween. But right now, it's extremely early in the wheat planting season. You plant it this early, or you're going to get a lot of growth. The wheat's going to be ahead, and then it can be more susceptible to a late spring freeze, which I've seen. So I like planting my wheat a little bit later than everybody else, and we still made excellent yields doing it. The only problem is that you could run into some wet weather where you're planting into the mud, and you might get a subpar stand, which I've also seen too. So. Pakis Yellow 7, sorry if I butchered that name, says, "Greetings from Greece." Man, you long ways away. What time is it over there in Greece? I always love talking with viewers from who are not here in America. Catfish asks, "What happens to the corn that tested positive for aflatoxin?" Well, we've got it separated out in the bin. I'm going to try to blend it with our good corn whenever we start delivering in December. We've only got like about 1,000 bushels of it, so every load that we put in the loadout bin, I'm going to try to mix, maybe 20, 30 bushels of it and blend it in, and then haul it to Tyson, and hopefully we won't contaminate any corn. But the funny thing is that after we get done with corn harvest, I've turned everything over to crop insurance because we definitely had a claim, and I gave them the sample that we tested positive. I gave them a fresh sample out of that bin with the corn that tested positive, and then I gave them a sample of corn out of everything that tested negative. And when they took it and had it tested, every bit of it tested negative. Even the positive sample in a Ziploc bag that we got in a positive test, that one tested negative. So, and what they told me is the place they went and had it tested is they said it only takes one kernel of infected corn in that ground up sample to test positive. So I feel pretty good. I'm sure there's some aflatoxin in there, but it's at low levels, and we just happened to just pick a sample of corn that it tested positive. And that doesn't mean that our corn that tested negative, it doesn't also have some aflatoxin in there. So we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully, it won't be very interesting come December when we go to haul it, but there's always that chance. Colonial Roofing of North Carolina says the fall rains are coming. That's kind of what I'm scared of. I don't want to see any rain for about any more rain for about 2.5 weeks. I'd love to get this cotton out, but then I wouldn't mind seeing 2 to 3 inches of rain, getting some good moisture down the profile, so we can plant wheat, get a good stand of wheat, and then get our double crop soybeans cut and be finished with this crop. Shore Sharp asks, do you think running a deep ripper would have helped with the drought? No, I don't. I don't think any form of tillage is going to help when you're in a drought condition, because you're disrupting everything that's going on in the soil that is trying to help whatever's growing there, help it survive and be bountiful. Anytime you do tillage, all the microorganisms, the earthworms, the soil structure, you're introducing more oxygen down in the soil, you're increasing evaporation. Uh, I don't, I don't think it would have helped me. Now, in some cases, maybe where people are doing, regular tillage and they don't have the organic matter and the soil structure that we built up. I mean, I could see maybe in certain instances that it could potentially help, but anytime you disturb that soil, anything you've built up in the soil, you're destroying. So I'm not a believer in tillage. I do know that it is necessary in certain instances. I mean, we did some this spring. We had a couple of rough farms that we really had to smooth out. I think we're going to do a little bit more this next spring. We got another rough farm that is just beats you up every time you go across it. We got to smooth it out. But unless I actually have problems with the soil, with it being rough, or we do some dirt work and the soil needs smoothing up, we're not going to do any tillage on our farm. I don't think it's going to be beneficial for me long term. Teenage Farmer, boy, he asked a loaded question there. Says, I started a YouTube channel 2 months ago. Do you have any YouTube advice? Well, I'd say, Teenage Farmer, I'd say first thing, identify your goals with the channel. What do you want to do with your channel? What do you want to show? And what do you want your target audience to be? I mean, do you want to be like Millennial Farmer and grow as big as he is? Then the path you take, the content you put out might be different than what I put out. I have no desire to be big like Millennial Farmer. I've got very specific goals with our channel, and I know it's going to limit my viewership and how big we grow, how much money I make off YouTube, all that kind of stuff. But I'm putting out content that I'm very passionate about and I'm very proud of. I want to be, our goals with the channel is to, for one, showcase our farm, showcase our farming practices that we believe very strongly in, and help to educate other people about what we do and why we do it, whether it's other farmers, educating them about the way we farm and how it might benefit them, or really educating the general public whose only experience with agriculture might be the Roundup lawsuits that they see on TV. Thinking that we're drenching everything in chemicals and trying to kill everybody. So that's the goal of our channel. It's kind of a niche market, and it's going to limit how big our channel grows, the exposure we get. But I feel like that's our calling in life, not just to farm, but to be an advocate for agriculture. So that's kind of what I've identified, our channel as, and what I want to do with it. And then, I'm happy with the viewership. I'm happy with the subscribers that we get. We're not looking to entertain. I hope that we are at least somewhat entertaining along the way, but our main goal is telemarketers. but our main goal is education with this channel. Some people have referred to me as an influencer, a social media influencer, like you see a lot of on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, all that. I hate that term influencer. I don't want to be an influence. I don't want to be known as an influencer. I want to be known as an educator. So, my advice is identify what you're passionate about, because what you're passionate about will show up on camera. And then identify what your target audience is. And then the one thing that everybody will appreciate, whether they actually like your content or not, what they will appreciate is a good looking video. Learn about video editing, learn about camera settings, getting the proper camera angle, the proper shutter speed, the proper frame rate, the proper resolution, and then learn how to use these editing software to put together a good looking, smooth video that makes sense and is pleasing to the eye. Because if you got good content, but you got a crappy looking video, well, people might not watch it as much. Or if you got content that maybe somebody's not interested in that much, but you got a really good looking video, well, they might watch a little bit longer, and then along the way they might find something about that video as far as the content that is appealing to them. So everything that I do, I've learned with the editing. It's been self-taught. I started this in 2016, and I think our videos have come a long way in their quality. And everything I know about editing has been self-taught, just experimenting and all that kind of stuff. Now, I did have a very good tutorial on cameras, how to operate cameras, angles, shutter speed, a lot of photography stuff whenever we were filming for the American Farm on History. And we spent 8 months with two professional cameramen that they really taught me a lot about cameras. But any of this information about cameras and editing and stuff, you can find it on YouTube. It's a great resource that I use all the time. So, that pretty much would be my advice I give to you. But also realize it's going to start out slow, and it's going to be a struggle in the beginning. You're going to put out content, but your channel might not grow. Your content's got to get out there. So stick with it. It took me a long time to build our channel up, and fortunately or unfortunately, I had one video go viral that really kind of put me over the hump, and started projecting me to the level that I'm at now. So a lot of folks really need that one video to really get out there and be spread around by YouTube and other means to get to really get their name out there and to get the subscribers and the viewer base that they need. Sample 22 Country, how you doing today? Well, I'm all right. I'm nasty. I got done working on our blasted forklift. What I thought was going to be like a 3-hour project wound up being like a 3-afternoon project. Finally got our forklift back up and going. So taking time to mingle with viewers before I go home and get cleaned up. You also asked, do y'all still need help with the zombie paintball trail? I really don't know. Like I said, I'm only the landowner on that. I don't actually own the business. I don't do the scheduling. I don't assign where people are working or that kind of stuff. But as of right now, I think we're pretty good on help. The owner's got a fairly long list of people wanting to work. I don't know if he's still taking applications or what, but I know right now we're definitely not hurting for people. Whether that change in a few weeks, who knows? Brantley Bailey says they're getting a much needed rain today. Where exactly are you at, Brantley? Yes, sir, teenage. Glad to help you out, man. Southeast Alabama. Brantley says he's in Southeast Alabama. Yeah, I think just about most everybody here in the Southeast has been experiencing some form of drought or another. And I'd hate to think of where we would be at. we had good moisture up until the first part of June, and then it absolutely shut off there until late July, which is what ruined their corn crop. And not only that, had scorchingly high temperatures. And then something happened, and right there, late July through most of August, we had decent rains, enough to keep the crop going. And then once September got here, it dried back up again. And the last 6 weeks, with the exception of we've gotten one rain, but other than that, I mean, it is dry. I mean, our yard looks like a frost is hit it already. It's looking rough. Gary Gary Saint Romain says I watch a lot of different farm channels on YouTube, and I must say I feel like I learned a lot of new things about farming that I didn't know before from you than any other channels. Oh, Gary, I appreciate it. Like I said, that's our goal. I'm sure you watch the other channels to be entertained. I want to be known as the people you learn from, because to me, education and knowing about things is extremely important. I don't want to influence anybody's opinion about something, but if you want to know about farming, I want to give you the facts. I want to let you understand about it, and then let you feel free to make your own opinion of what you've seen on this channel. Yeah, Bradley says 30% chance of rain just popped up for tomorrow. That's kind of where we were. I mean, I didn't think anything was going to happen today. Yesterday I checked it, had a 30% chance of rain today. And then checked it again this morning. We were going to defoliate some more cotton, and all of a sudden it said 60% chance after 2 o'clock, and then 70% chance this evening. And sure enough, we got it. I got you, Sam. Well, yeah, you right up the road from me. I think you think a whole lot of your granddad. All right, well, I'm waiting for the next question to come in. I say I'm trying to get some videos uploaded, get y'all some content for while we're picking cotton and can't do anything. It's not quite there yet. But anyway, I think I got 5 videos made up. The first one of those will come out tomorrow. Then I'll schedule the rest of them to come out every 3 days. But let's see what we got. What we got on the docket for tomorrow. All right, tomorrow I got a fairly short video. I think it's like 17, 18 minutes. We had to do some repair work to the combine. Also give you the final numbers on our corn crop. Then after that, we got a video about defoliating cotton, and I've also got a really awesome time lapse of the cotton defoliating. I did like a 14-day time lapse of the first field I defoliated, flying the drone over it and showing as it progressed from day to day to day. So really proud of that. That'll be in the defoliation video that comes out. When was it? What's the day? Today's Wednesday, so I'm gonna come out tomorrow. Be Thursday, Friday. All right, the defoliation video should come out Sunday. Then after that, we got 2 soybean harvesting videos. And then the 5th one will be us getting all of our cotton equipment ready. And then after that, the next video will be cotton harvesting, which we haven't done yet. Landon Andrews asks, "Are you going to visit Wade Farms anytime soon?" I'd like to go. I'd like to go see Dion. We've talked some on the phone and on the internet, but I haven't actually met him face to face and haven't been on his farm. Man, I ain't got time to do nothing. I mean, the only time I even go into town is if I need to get parts. Like some days I don't even go into town for like the whole week. I'd love to get over there and see him. I thought he was actually going to come out to our farm because his truck and trailer was down there and taking a whole lot longer to fix than what he thought. And he was ready to get started cutting soybeans. So I told him, truck's not done get fixed, man. We're not using ours. You can come borrow ours, but he did get his truck back like the next day, and then he had camera issues. I think yesterday, and his phone that he records with got lost or destroyed. And told him I had a spare one he could borrow, but I guess he able to get it replaced. So I'm sure I'll get to meet up. Get to meet up with Dion at some point. Just don't know when it'll be. Might be after harvest, but I'd like to go see. I'd like to go visit him while he's actually harvesting. But we both super busy. Family Farmer Tennessee asked, "How will the cold next week affect cotton defoliation?" Well, we actually had to scramble, and we got to make two defoliation passes on our cotton. We defoliated the very last of our cotton, the last 60 acres, with the first pass on Monday, and we're going to make our last pass on it about 2 days earlier. We're going to do that on Friday, and that Ethfon we're putting on the cotton, hopefully give enough time to start working before we get a potential freeze on it Monday night. So ideally, I'd like to make that second application probably Saturday or Sunday, but we're going to have to speed it up a little bit. Like I said, we defoliated some more this morning with our second pass about a day to 2 days earlier than what I wanted to, just because of the freeze. We will really want to get that Ethfon in the plant and starting to work in, because if those bowls freeze without the process of them starting to open actually starting, then they won't ever open up, and man, then that'd really hurt us on yield. So regardless, it's definitely going to slow the process down where we've already applied the chemicals, but we've kind of been defoliating a little bit along for the last several weeks, and hopefully it'll be, even though it's going to be slower, hopefully it'll still open up in time to where we got a nice harvest progress, and we don't have to stop for a couple days waiting on some more to open up. Mountain Pockets Wood Nickel says he just finished his cover crops yesterday and it's raining now. Man, I know that's a good feeling. Proud for you. So, where exactly are you at, and what cover crops did you plant? I'm kind of curious on that. And Alex asks again, second part question: do I have any high magnesium soils? How do you deal with them if you have a neutral pH? No, we don't have any high magnesium soils. In fact, we switched our lime from high cal lime to dolomitic lime. We started doing that probably about 5 or 6 years ago to try and get some more magnesium in the soils. We're really not deficient, but we definitely don't have any high magnesium soils. So really, what you got to do, you got to apply something to knock the magnesium off of there. And I think this is really not something I'm well versed in, but we'll say maybe apply some extra sulfur. I think that might help knock some of those magnesium cations off the soil colloid. But other than that, when you do apply lime, which you're talking about a neutral pH soil, so maybe you don't have to apply lime that much. But I definitely wouldn't use dolomitic lime in that case. I'd use high cal lime. Brentley says their neighbors have got done picking peanuts and got done cutting hay. Peanuts really interest me. I was I think a couple of years ago, Kelly and I were able to go down to Georgia and visit a couple of peanut farms, and actually the first time I got to see peanuts growing, and it's super neat. I always thought the peanuts like grew on the roots of the plant, because down the soil, but they educated me that it's actually the blooms on the top part droop down to the soil, and that's what the peanuts grow off of. Like, I've never seen any type of plant like that. That was just really neat. But I'd love to see some peanuts being harvested sometime. I like eating peanuts myself, and I'd like to see peanut harvest at some point in my life. Simple Country says, if you don't mind me asking, what did you and my granddad used to do? Well, I've known your granddad for a long time. I know he did some custom harvesting for my dad back when we were transitioning from all cotton into growing grain, and he's helped me with some welding projects because he was a great welder. Some things that I really didn't feel comfortable with welding, some cast iron and stuff, and he's helped me with some repair projects over the years, giving me some advice too. So, uh, probably don't see him about once or twice a year now, but there in the past, he's really been a big help to our farm when I've been in a pickle. Oh, looks like we got some porn bots commenting here. Can I block those? Oh, I'm gonna report it. Yeah, don't want that crap on my channel. Got 3 of them here. God, what's this world coming to? Gary Jones from Crossville, Tennessee. Man, you know, but what about an hour and a half away from my favorite town in Tennessee this time of year? Well, big things gonna be going on in Knoxville this weekend, aren't they? Uh, am I familiar with Dale Strickler, the agronomist from Green Cover Seed? Not familiar with him. I'm terrible with names anyway. I know I talked with a couple guys from Green Cover Seed because I've ordered some seed from them before, but I can't remember who I talked to. But no, I'm not familiar with them. I do know that they do some good things up there. So Brantley, you know something about peanuts? They are educate me on the different varieties of peanuts and what they can be used for. You say you're usually digging the traditional salted peanuts. Like I just assumed a peanut was a peanut was a peanut. I didn't know that there was like different ones grown for different uses. So if it's not too long, tell me in the comments the difference between the types of peanuts. I'd love to know. And yeah, man, boy, those Cajun peanuts, hmm, love them. Landon Andrews asks, any farmers grow tobacco in your area? No, not right here in our area. I know, at least when I was in college in Martin, Tennessee, which is about 45 minutes north. I know up there in Kentucky and very north Tennessee, there was some tobacco grown. And actually, one of my fraternity brothers, he lived in Nashville and he grew an acre of tobacco every year. I remember when I was a freshman, I got roped into going up there and helping him harvest. He promised us all the pizza we could eat and all the beer we could drink if we'd help him cut and stake his acre of tobacco. I've never heard so much in my life after I got done with that. It flat out killed me, and my hands were stained green for I could not get that stuff off of me. That was some of the hardest work I have ever done. I swore I would never step foot in another tobacco field again. But I always heard the money was really good in it. Oh no, we got a roll tide on here. You do that again, you just might find yourself blocked. I bet you ain't gonna be saying roll tide after come Saturday evening though. That's gonna be my prediction. I say this video's done uploading. It's just stopped. Do I not have any? I gotta have an internet because I'm streaming. This video has come to a complete stop. Man, if I have to, no, I'm getting 70 megabits per second. If I have to start this daggum video up again and reload it, I'm going to be so upset. Alan Clore from the Thumb of Michigan. Man, I heard I heard up there, like, or maybe it's Wisconsin. I heard there was some pretty bad storms up that way earlier today. I saw Reed Timmer did a live update on some tornado potential from up there around Wisconsin, which fits in. Gary Jones says, "You done with harvest?" I wish. No, man. Reality, we've only gotten the easy part of the harvest out of the way. As soon as it dries up after this rain, we're going to start picking cotton, and that's definitely going to be the hard part. We still got 490 acres of cotton to pick. We're going to have somewhere ballpark of 400 acres of wheat to plant after we pick our cotton. Then we still got 525 acres of double crop soybeans to cut, and we still got about 90 acres of cover crop to plant behind some of those beans, because some of it's in there is in the city limits of Jackson, and the airplane pilot would not fly over and spread the cover crop seed on that, so we still got to drill that. So we still got a long ways to go. This year, the double crop soybeans, they're real close to being ready, but they're not ready yet. I kind of wish they'd been about a week ahead, and we could have already gotten some of them cut before we started picking cotton, but just didn't work out that way. People saying I've got problems with my stream kind of glitching in and out. Dad got more freaking bots. All right, guys. Well, if I'm glitching, probably going to have to call. Probably going to have to end this pretty soon. So, got any last minute questions before I log off? It's probably going to be the last chance I have to do anything live until after we're done with harvest. Be this winter sometime. Wood Nichols says he's in West Central Michigan. Use a combination of seal rye and balanza clover. I haven't planted any balanza clover myself, but I've got a neighbor that's planted some. She did there for a couple of years, but she actually had to get away from it because the balanza clover reproduced so much that the volunteer balanza clover actually kind of started taking the field over. I mean, it did what it's supposed to do. It grew, and it grew good. I think it produced a lot of nitrogen, but it started becoming kind of a problem weed with not letting much else grow. Was my understanding of her experience with it. All right, guys. Well, it's getting about 5 o'clock. Looks like the rain has moved out of the area. We're going to start the zombie trail up for group night tonight at 7 o'clock. I got to work that. I kind of like to get cleaned up a little bit and get another couple of videos uploaded before I head out there. So I'm going to have to go ahead and call it quits on this. Appreciate y'all showing up. I know this is kind of impromptu. I like to plan this stuff out in advance a little bit better. Just didn't have any idea I'd have a little bit of spare time this afternoon. So anyway, guys, thanks again. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting our channel. Hopefully I'll have enough content to keep y'all rolling for the next several weeks while we pick cotton. And then hopefully after that, I hope I'm going to have some really good cotton videos for you. I hope I haven't overestimated this cotton crop, and hope we finally got something positive to share with y'all, something positive for this year. I know there's been a whole lot of negativity on our farm and what we've experienced this year, a lot of problems. So keep my fingers crossed. We got some smiles on our faces here coming up in some videos. So guys, thanks for watching. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be back again soon.